Police officers are here removed, asking the motorcyclists to remove and want to see what will be the action here. While Honorable Yeke Poluba talking to the motorcyclists, and the police officers are also here. So, motorcyclists are here appreciating Honorable Poluba for speaking on their behalf. And we see the police officer and Honorable Poluba in a conversation here. We don't know what Honorable Poluba.
Nobody will harass them. Anybody harass them, you will feel it. Now bullshit going on. Come on, you fool people who's gonna go.
Honorable
You have to listen to me carefully. The vehicle in traffic law is very clear. When you register your car, you will.
So folks, we are here. The police.
Between the month of May and June, we were recruited by the authority of the EPS as a conduct of briefing of the strength of the EPS in providing security protection for VIPs in line with national security. The EPS authority in 2018 provided official employment letters indicating our various employments for a 3-month probationary period in keeping with Section 13.1 of the Decent Act of Liberia 2015. After successfully serving our probationary period, the EPS administration conducted an assessment of the performance of each of the agents and wrote official employment letters permanently employing all agents concerned. We have all been serving the EPS diligently and professionally since 2018, up to present, when the current leadership of the EPS, in that we have not determined that they have not determined that we meet the minimum requirement of the EPS.
Can I see you get everyone?
Under the EPS duty manual and regulation constitute grounds for suspension as well as immediate termination, but these provisions of the EPS duty manual and regulation were not scrupulously followed by the new administration of the EPS. Officials of the EPS, like all other Liberians, are protected by the constitutions of Liberia, 1986, and have the right to due process of law. All rights that is known as the law of the land. Article 11 of the Constitution of Liberia, 1986, provides the fundamental rights of all Liberians, including the right to be treated equally before the law. Hence, no Liberian, irrespective of political, religious, or tribal affiliations, is to be denied the right to due process and employment, especially before affect the livelihood of group of individuals are taken. So, as the instant case, the officers concerned were served termination letter without being subjected to any form of initial screening before declaring these officers are not meeting the minimum entry requirement by the employment of the EPS. A relevant part of this termination letter states it has been determined by the administration that we the EPS, did not meet the minimum entry requirements to be employed by the Executive Protection Service, the EPS. This statement indicates that we are not minimum. This statement indicates that there are minimum entrance requirements into the EPS, but none of such requirements that all the officers concerned did not meet these requirements. To declare a group of individuals unfit to meet a set of requirements, these individuals should be subject to an impartial and independent with the outcome known to the concerned individual. Something that was not done prior to the termination letter. The termination of our services was strongly believed, we strongly believe was premeditated because the current director of the EPS, Director Sengay, doing appearance before the Liberian Senate for confirmation hearing on Monday, February 12, 2024, declared that he will terminate of the EPS because, according to him, during the regime of former President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, when he served as head of the EPS, he left 450 active agents. And upon his appointment to the same position by President Joseph Boakai'S, he met 900 agents. This premeditated statement by Director Sengay, published widely in the newspaper and aired on radio station, as agent of the EPS, we see this action as on the part of the director as being autonomous. The threat to the office of as agent of the EPS, we were branded as partisan of the Coalition for Democratic Change by Director Gay, whereas we took oath to protect the country and VIPs. We also wish to bring to your attention that it is not only Director Gay who is being on violating our rights, but also the Liberian National Police. As on Thursday, April 18, 2024, the LMP under the command of Colonel Gregory Comer wrongfully arrested, brutalized, and humiliated 7 of our colleagues, including J. Frank Hope, Nathaniel S. Stowe, Andy P. Yancey, Samuel Reeves, Anthony McConsey, James Kelly, and Augustine Belair, who has appeared on radio stations for exercising the rights of freedom of expression. The right of our 7 colleagues continue to be violated by the Liberian National Police, and we are also calling your attention to ensure that protections of the right of these peaceful Liberians. We are cautioning the Commissioner of the LMP, Colonel Gregory Comer, to stay clear the matter and warn LMP officers to desist from intimidating, harassing, and interfering with agents of the Executive Protection Service, EPS, as we will not continue to allow such maltreatment from the LMP. Through this communication,
My speaker is on. I know my speaker was mute, so please forgive me for that. All right. So hello there to everyone. Let me see where I can get an audio here. Hello to everyone. Can you guys hear me now? Hello to everyone. Let me get my volume up here. Hear me now? All right, you guys can hear. All right, so you guys can hear me now, right? Okay. So let me say hi to every one of you guys, and thank you guys so much for tuning in. All right, I really appreciate you guys all the time to be here. Again, my name is Jay Randy, and welcome again to another presentation. Welcome again to another presentation with me, Jay Randy. We are back here again to discuss another decision in the country. We're going to look at the pros and cons of the decision, where the decision regarding the massive layoff. Do we see that? Is it a political purging? Yeah, political purging is a process in which the incoming government comes in and want to get rid of all its adversary. That is called political purging. That is, you want to purge everybody out of the system. That is a word that is taken from the environmental science. You know, when you have water in the hole and you want to suck all the water, you got to press the water out in order for it to recharge, to bring in the new water that you want to sample. So that is called political. We apply that to say is political purging. So the question here is, since Mr. Boakai's took office, the arrest agenda has not been on his path of establishing, implementing, and measuring his performance. Mr. Boakai's and his administration has turned the corner, and they have focused with 100% laser focus on going after civil servant as well as former government official within the WIA administration. Those decisions today is turning the country in the wrong direction. And all we can hope for is to see what we can do here with a little opportunity given to us to discuss this thing. So welcome to my platform. Again, my name is Jay Randy. We are here to listen to the people in Liberia. We want to listen to them, and the purpose of listening to them is to understand their reaction, their concern in regards to the situation they are facing in the country. Prior to Boakai's coming to power, we clearly understand and know that the very people that we see that are being laid off today, in addition to the people who were part of the Boakai's and Eddie 12-year administration, none of these people were laid off. Mr. Wiake and added 40,000 jobs. Boakai's want to erase the 40,000 jobs. Boakai's goal is to ensure that over the last 6 years, Mr. Weah managed to increase the workforce by 40,000. Joe Boakai's goal is to decrease that number. He wants to completely erase that number off the civil servant list of employment. And that total number is 40,000. Now, as he carried out the campaign, tonight we're going to look at the consequences of removing civil servant, especially at that large number. What does it mean for the country? Stability, what does it mean? Public service, what does it mean? Economic improvement, what does it mean? Poverty, what does it mean for poverty? So we're going to look at all those things, and I just want to say welcome to my show. We are very different from other platforms because here we take an administrative approach. Most of the things we discuss on the program has to do with my responsibility in the country as a leader who helps to make decisions better for people in this country. Why it is true, I'm not giving 100%. Most of the things that we discuss, the strategy, the approach, the recommendation, are part of what I have learned in this country. And throughout the time that we spend together every day, you, no matter where you work, there are some similarities or things that I say here that will align with some of the value and some of the things that you see at your place of work and understand. My goal here is to provide the highest level of information in the form of awareness to give you that understanding, that crystal clear understanding about how things should be. And if it's not going well, what are the cause factor and what are the root cause? And with that, you will have a clear understanding of making an informed decision, not only for yourself, but helping other people. So today, we are going to look at Joe Boakai's 100 days. We are going to grade Joe Boakai's today. We have basically two videos. The first video is the one that you're watching right now. And then the second video has to do with President Boakai's press secretary. This lady has come on my radar, and today I'm going to expose her today. And the exposure I'm going to give to her today is going to be a very good guideline for you to determine who is an effective and very skillful communicator. She's not. And we will also give her grade here. And with that grade, trust me, going forward, we will look at her from that grade. She will either increase in terms of performance or she will decrease in terms of poor performance. All right. So we're looking at improvement performance or poor performance. That would depend, because Liberians need to understand that we are not limited to just the local Liberian back home. The idea of Facebook has given us no boundaries now. You can be in Switzerland. I can be in Zimbabwe. You can be in Australia. I can be in Zanzibar. As long as you have connection to social media through the internet that is backed by electricity, and you align yourself with any social group, especially group that is associated with Liberia, you will have the opportunity to see what happened in the country. And based on your improvement, your knowledge gain in the country you find yourself, you will be able to see things, whether it is making sense or it needs some little prep or whatever it is to make it better. My point here is we are many around the world, and if some Liberian feel that they can bamboozle the people on the ground, thinking that there are people out here that are not looking from outside inside, they're wrong, because J. Randy will look at things from outside inside and tell you what is wrong with that. All right. So I'd like to say thank you guys so much for joining me here. But before we begin the show, I just want to go over a few things here, and please share the video here. All right. Share the video here. Our country is heading in the wrong direction. I can tell you that one right now. Nobody should even think that Liberia is going to make any progress this year. All right. And the performance of this year, there is a saying that prior performance will determine future performance. The performance of the Boakai's administration is going to create a problem along the way. So I would like to say welcome to the show. This is the J. Randy show here. And this is our, a quick snapshot here for you that we put called the J. Randy Free Voice. And this is our philosophy. We will often repeat these things here because this is what we are driven by, and this is what we understand as well. These are the different platforms that you can find yourself. So again, we are broadcasting through all the platforms, and I would like to say welcome to every one of you guys, no matter where you are. If you are on YouTube, hello there to you. If you are on the Dapo channel, hey, welcome to the show. And of course, if you are on the Liberia Citizenship for Accountability, we also want to say hi to you. And then if you're on the J. Randy J. Dapo show, which is the main page that belongs to me, of course, you are welcome again. All right. So we are here, and we are kindly asking for any donation that you can provide. All right. It would be highly appreciated. All right. Someone and I had a conversation yesterday. Let me just put this thing up here quickly. Someone and I were having a conversation yesterday, and they noticed that oftentimes I don't come on time. That's true. It is true because one, Liberia is very depressing. Two, I have other obligation. And 3, I look forward to your support as well. Because I can tell you right now, the information I'm providing here, there are some public officials in Liberia, and there are some Liberians in the United States or other places. They see the information, they feel the information, and they listen to it. They go to work, they go and interact with other friends. The expression, the knowledge they provide, they know within themselves, because I can feel it within my bone, in my flesh. Now, what I say here, most of what I say, they take it into consideration and they apply it. So that's why I'm asking you guys to not be dishonest to me. Try to provide your little donation. The Bible says, give and it shall be given up to you. Let me give it back to you. Now that I said that, that's one of the reasons I don't go to Liberian church, because our people, they profess to be God-fearing people, but they don't follow the principle of God things. I love to give because I believe that giving, you see the knowledge I'm giving here, very, very powerful knowledge. And you know why? Because my mom taught me to always be a giver. She said, the more you give, the more you get. So oftentimes I come here, whether there are 2 people, 3 people, I come here and do all my research. Every time before I come out here, I have to do my research. Everything that I present on my platform, I have to do my research, and I have the documentation to support that. And that is why when people ask me, what are you doing for your country? You know, it often bothers me sometimes, not in a negative way, but in a very surprising manner, when Liberia decide to ask, what are you doing for the country? When you provide knowledge in the form of education to enhance people's understanding, and they still come to you and say, what have you done for the country? And then when you engage them with conversations, they're like, oh, have you given somebody money? Have you given somebody this? I don't believe in those things. You know why I don't believe in that? Yeah, it's why I don't believe in that. When you first started going to school, you pay the school to gain knowledge, right? And then when you graduate from the school, you seek job, and then the job pay you for your knowledge. That is the logical understanding that many Liberians, both in the diaspora and back home, don't understand. The people say knowledge is power, but Liberian men feel that giving is acceptable. That is a way of accepting you. And that is why over the years of our existence, corrupt officials within past and present administration, they don't focus on giving Liberian skills and other and athletic abilities to become skillful and independent. Instead, they provide some little resources in the form of financial assistance, but they keep them academically low, financially dependent. And that's why a vast majority of our people are struggling every day to make ends meet. Other countries will now focus on giving you little financial support. Their goal would be to improve your understanding, your knowledge, your skills, because when you have those tools, you will be able to go anywhere to be paid. All right. So thank you guys so much for watching me here. And let me just read a few comments here. All right. I see the comments that are pouring in here just like a flooding rain. All right. So let me read the comments here. Starting here with my good sister here, Ruth. She said, good night, J. Randy. All right. And then I think she's about to go to bed. But Ruth, we hope to see you tomorrow. And then we have my boy Erabi Gayu here. All right. And then again, we have Emeta Flomo here. How you doing there, my brother? Yes, how you doing there, my brother? And then we have Kenan here is here. Kenan is also here too. And then we see Erabi Gayu back here again. And then we have my brother Ansu here. How you doing, brother Ansu? Good to see you again. As always, want to appreciate you for all your calm things. And then we have Josephine Seyon is here. Thank you very much, Josephine Seyon, for stopping by. And then we had James Tano. Very good looking picture, my brother. Look very good. And you know, we wear his jacket kind of remind me of Bible too, when Will Smith came, he dressed like he was putting the suit on. And then Martin Lawrence looked at him and said, don't hit, I think he said, don't hit the tailor. I mean, yeah, I think he said, don't hit the tailor or something like that. I can't remember that phrase. But when I see what Jimmy Tan, the way he wear his jacket like this, it kind of remind me of that. I think he said, hit the tailor, but don't hit the person who got it something. I can't remember, but those of you that watch the show, I think you will know exactly what he said. All right. And then of course, I see my brother Romeo JT Perkins here. Thank you very much, Perkins. I think you have found us again because I've been missing you for a short period of time. But thank God, Perkins, you are back here again. And thank you so much for your commitment to the show here. And of course, my sister Jenny, she has written something long here. All right. And thank you so much, Jen Maboro. Thank you for stopping by. And then we had Yvonne Davis. All right, Yvonne Davis. Thank you. I see the little baby over there. Thank you. Those are the people. You see the baby over there? Those are the one that will see a better Liberia, folks. That baby in the hands of Yvonne Davis. That's the baby that will see a better Liberia. A Liberia that will be in the same line with Morocco, Ghana, South Africa. That baby will be the one to see a better Liberia. And it's good that she got that picture because in the future, that baby will say, Mommy, is that me over there? Yes, that you. Yes. Wow. I can't imagine I was going to be famous. That's what's going to happen here. All right. Sibo, we are 19. How you doing there? Thank you so much. All right. Numa Johnson, and the names keep coming, Guys, share the video. All right. Please share the video. Friend Sako, my man, Friend Sako. Thank you very much. And tuning. And then every one of you guys, yeah, I think, let me see what he said. He said, don't hit the player, hit the game. Okay. All right. Thank you very much, Tano. Thank you very much. And then my man Adama is back here again. How you doing there, brother Adama? Thank you so much for the opportunity. All right. So now with that introduction, folks, we'd like to start the show now because we are pressed with time. We want to make this up to 45 to 50 minutes so that we can get you guys out of here. It's Monday from my end here. And I would like to say welcome to every one of you guys. Liberia is at a crossroad. You know, I don't know how many of you guys sometimes ask yourself this question. All the talk show folks that we used to see during the WIA administration that were in favor of Joseph Boakai, we are not seeing them around nowadays. Is there any reason why, folks? Again, all the talk show hosts that we used to see during the WIA administration that used to be very critical of the WIA government, why aren't we seeing them nowadays? Is there any reason we're not seeing them nowadays, folks? All right. Is there any reason we're not seeing them nowadays? All right. Is there any reason we're not seeing them? What's up there, Thompson or B-Boss? I have a question for you guys, folks. Is there any reason we're not seeing them nowadays? Because this is the time that they need to come out now and be able to verify, justify what is happening in the country. So what happened to them, folks? Why aren't we seeing these people now? Why are we not seeing these people? Somebody said they are all hypocrites. I couldn't agree with you more. I think that's a perfect definition of being a hypocrite. So that means everything they were saying against WIA was never in the interest of the Liberian people. They were self-driven just to make themselves to be someone or people who were pretending to be in the interest of the Liberian people. But there are a lot of things taking place right now in the Boakai administration that the very people supposed to be on their platform right now throughout the day, like the way they used to be back then, and actually convincing you and I that what Boakai is doing, people around Boakai are doing to other Liberians. They should be here now telling us, giving us reason to convince us, right? But when you look left, you look right, you don't see them anymore. So I couldn't agree with you more. Or Ross. They are all hypocrites. I couldn't agree with you more. But we will be here to present those things to you guys. So to begin the ball here, we want to go to Yeke Koluba. Let's listen to Yeke Koluba and hear what he said today. And let's see what we can learn from that, as we begin to carry out tonight's discussion. So the video starts now.
Wherever you are watching us. Police officers are here asking the motorcyclists to remove the bike. And want to see what will be the action here. While Honorable Yeke Koluba talking to the motorcyclists, and the police officers are also here. So, motorcyclists are here appreciating Honorable Koluba for speaking on their behalf. And we see the police officer and Honorable Koluba in a conversation here. We don't know what. Honorable Koluba.
Nobody will harass them. Anybody harass them, you will feel it. Now bullshit going on. Come on, you people who's gonna go?
All right. So what do you make of Yeke Koluba reaction? All right. I know there are some people out there who might look at Yeke Koluba and say, oh, Yeke does not have respect. But I think those who are in the forefront of making decisions in our country, if they don't present themselves as leader that's supposed to lead with example, as leader that's supposed to make sound and informed decisions, as leader who's supposed to be the role model of the policies they represent, it gave no reason for anyone to blame Yeke Koluba. Because Yeke Koluba, as we all know him to be, is not and will not take a side that disadvantage a proportion of the people in society. Unity Party people decided to support Yeke Koluba when he was against the behavior of President Weah. Unity Party people enjoy every bit of Yeke Koluba action. And you imagine that they will say, you know what? We now know what Yeke likes and what Yeke don't like to see. So in order to maintain the relationship between Yeke and us, at least for the sake of the Liberian people, I mean, we got to set standards. We got to work hand in hand to meet the people needs and demand. But no, they decided not to do that. They decided to go completely opposite of what Yeke has been fighting for. I often tell a good friend of mine who called me and disagree with Yeke behavior from the past, and all I tell him is, there's one thing that Mr. Weah said that I think I always like to use as a guide when I'm dealing with things that I feel with confusion, and most of the time. And Mr. Weah often said, somebody telling you nonsense, take the none from there and look at the sense. And I always tell him, I said, look, Yeke Koluba may have presented himself as a nonsense guy, but I think if I remove this none and keep the sense, what Yeke Koluba is actually advocating for, it makes a lot of sense. And those senses that he put out there in the form of his expression, it tend to draw me near to him. And I see myself gravitating towards him. So I really think that Yeke Koluba, if we can get more of Yeke Koluba in Liberia and try to tweak his utterance and his behavior, even though some people will say, you know what, for fire will fire. However, if we try to at least tweak what he says and the way he says things, Yeke will be a very good person that society will look up to. But it is what it is. The system presents itself. You have a guy who say he has 42 years of experience, but when you see the way things are done in the country, it kind of challenge you to ask the question, does the 42 years represent years of experience, or is it just a 42 years of sitting and doing nothing in the various position that Mr. Boakai'S held? I think the second question would be the one that I will focus on. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are here today to briefly look at what is happening in the country. The trending issue in the country right now at the present moment is the massive layoff of civil servants. And we place emphasis not only on the year interval, that is people who are being currently laid off. And remember, there are 40,000 of them. 40,000 individuals are being laid off right now. And that number is hugely associated with people who work between 2018 to 2023 last year. Do you see that as any reason that will give you that satisfaction? You don't have to be a seditious, even you don't have to be a Liberian. But 40,000 just from one presidential term of another political party. Do you see that as an honest layoff? Because there's a difference between deliberate layoff and honest layoff. Do you see that as an honest layoff when you have somebody who say, we are only going to have this certain interval from here to here? But what about here? No, we're not concerning ourselves with here. We just want to be right here. Don't look on this side. Don't look on this side. Do you see that as something very honest? Well, that is what the Boakai's administration decided to do. But had there been a time in our nation history that such decision was taken by the executive branch of another government? Well, you are in the right place. We are going to look at that. So to begin the conversation of the massive layoff, I want to set things into stone first. Mr. Boakai's came to office with a phrase, rescue. And we all know the definition of rescue is nothing close to going to help somebody who is drowning, whether economically, financially, or in any circumstance where they are unable to help themselves. And whoever comes to the need of that person, it is defined as a process of rescuing somebody. Mr. Boakai's and his people said that the WIA administration has endangered the people's life. And the opposite of endangering something is to rescue. And he came with that phrase, rescue the people. So with just that short definition, my fellow Liberians, when you look at the decision that Mr. Boakai's is making, and I want you to have an open mind when you're having the conversation with me. I really want you to have an open mind. Put your party sentiment and just for a second on this show, say, look, I don't see any war around me. Let me just have the open mind. And then fix your open mind on some of the decision. For example, Mr. Boakai's claimed that people who were hired between 2018 and went through till 2023, those are people that they're targeting. And that number is around 40,000. Now, put yourself in that situation, close your eye and only focus on it. When you had 12 years of Boakai's administration and Ellen, and when Mr. Weir came to office, he maintained those people. And instead of removing them from their position, he added 40,000 jobs. And there was never a time in the administration of George Weah where there were massive layoffs. And in fact, some all went against George Weah today. And that maybe that's the reason why George Weah don't speak to some of us, especially me. They say job security is one of the reasons why sedition broke away with me. Because when Mr. Weah took office, he brought in Emmanuel Nukwe, who was vice presidential candidate to Joe Boakai, that wanted to unseat him or prevent him from getting elected. And what we did, We have brought a man in the government. We have brought Bezonga Finlay. And we have kept almost all early civil servants, because he said they were not early civil servants. They were civil servants of Liberia. And because of the few people that we have brought into the position of his government and left many sedition out, that even created disenchanted sedition. Today, the Boakai's people are not even reflecting to say, look, guys, when the guy took over, some of you, Mo Ali, for example, he left on his own will. Mo Ali was still at Ministry of Finance, Planning and Development. He said he did water and sanitation. And of course, our counties within our country are challenged with proper drinking water. He was assigned to go to Grand Jida. Had he gone to Grand Jida and did something good, don't you think they're going election, Grand Jida would have voted for him? But he acted like Jonah. When they sent him, he rejected to go. And said that we did not have the big shot to swallow him, the will to swallow him. But Mo Ali refused to go and help the people of Grand Jida County. And he left that job. Emmanuel Nukwe worked in that government. Legwa Boakai'S Finlay, and many of them, they were all Unity Party people. And they said to William, Mama, thank you, man, we don't want to work again. But when you look at Boakai's today, laser focus only on those who were hired during the Weir administration. Do you think and do you feel any honesty in that? Let's say the sky open today and Jesus Christ come and say, you know what? All the country on the face of the planet, you're going to heaven. Liberia, you're not coming. But what did we do to you? No. All the country on the face of the planet, I'm here to take you to heaven. But Liberia, you're not coming. How will you feel if you are a Liberian and God came and made that kind of decision? How will you feel? One, you say, but Liberia have been part of the global community. We travel to many countries. We know how we behave. We saw the thing. They did something there. We did something there. And you want to come in to just single her out? That's exactly what Joe Boakai's is doing. That's exactly what he's doing. Now, if you never understood the definition of Sahel people, if you're in America here and somebody tells you during the slavery days, my brother, we were never welcome to certain places. It was only way only. That's what Joe Boakai's is doing in Liberia now. That's what he's doing in Liberia. The decision is not a reform decision. Because somebody will say, oh, that policy reform. Okay, let's take it a policy reform. But where is the emphasis of the policy reform focus? The policy reform is only focused on people that George we have brought to power. Brought in the government. Can you imagine if every president in the world copy what Joe Boakai's doing? Every time in America when the month ends, whether it's Republican, Democrat, they are proud of the job that they got every month. Oh, this month, last month, the Biden administration managed to increase job opportunity for Americans. So and so thousand jobs were created. They don't come there and say jobs were created for only Democrats. And then when Trump left office and Biden came, Biden did not say all those who started working from Trump time to the end of Trump, you're on your own. You got to go. You got to go. It doesn't work that way. The government will always find ways to help people, not to destroy people. And that's exactly what Boakai's is doing in our country. No government. Do you know why when you're working for private company and they lay you off, where do you go? You go to the government for assistance, public assistance. Right? It happens in many countries around the world. So then why should a government that go to the people to vote for them, see the country going through some type of problem, like you say, you coming to rescue, and then you take power, and then you start to how do you call it, employ people in the country. Instead of employing more people, you de-employing people in the country. So I want you to think about that. Don't put your party sentiment in that. What Joe Boakai's doing is almost like when the Israelites or the Israelis were in Egypt. It almost like how the black people were here as slaves. They never have voices. People just can't take them out of their houses and carry them. Because it used to be a time where they say black are not allowed. And that's what Boakai's is doing. We are only firing people who started working from 2018 to 2023. Everybody now worrying now. Hey God, who will put me out here and say I was here from 2018 to 2023? The husband get up in the morning, he going to work. They were there praying, hey God, they want to find my husband, oh Father God, in your own country. Nothing that happening there, folks. Y'all see why I don't go to church I don't go to Liberian people church. You don't find the churches coming out to say, no, Boakai's, this is wrong. You don't find no other person coming out to say, Boakai's, this is wrong. Now you see the reason why I told you guys, why my man wrote in Cooper, that I don't go to Liberian people church. You see the evilness? You see the evilness? I don't hate my fellow Liberian. I dislike their behavior. We are king and kept these people. We have kept these people. He even went to the extent of cutting his salary. Have you heard Joe Boakai's cutting his salary? Joe Boakai's been in power now for almost 3 months. Have you heard Joe Boakai's telling you, say, oh, I will cut my salary to let the people be on the job? No. We are faced with the same thing. But we are saying, let me cut my salary so that the people can survive on the job. And those were Boakai's people. You know, when Boakai's sat down with 50-50 and said, oh, they're taking my tax money, they only giving me 800. They only do this 1 year. That old man presented himself to you guys if to say that he was the disown, that the whole world disown him. That's how he presented himself. He presented himself like the victim that every country went against. But yeah, he here today get the opportunity. And that old man is acting like he ain't got no feelings. No feelings. You see how power is not good for African people? Some of you got a younger generation. You see how when African people get overthrown and how they can be cutting them with knife? I'm just saying now, folks. I'm just saying. Because the way they present themselves. The way they present themselves. Look at these people here.
We are giving the LP, the Liberian.
Look at these people. Don't you see them look like Liberians? Don't they look like Liberians? But the surrounding them. Don't they look like Liberians? Of course they look like Liberians, right? And they are Liberians. But why are they being treated like that? Can anybody tell me why are they being treated like that? I'm reading the statement, the comment here for you guys. Why are they being treated like that? They don't have green card. They don't have citizenship of other country. They are not like you guys. Say, you know what, to hell with that thing, man. I don't hear J. Randy. I come back to the US. That Boakai's man not serious. They don't have that opportunity. They don't have it. They're stuck in our country. They're stuck there. There's nothing they can do. They are not let Eugene Fagon. Joe, we are let Eugene Fagon go. He got on the plane. He came by here in America here. No guy got nowhere to go. They got nowhere to go, fellow Liberians. And nobody there to advocate for them. Nobody. Let's listen to them, little bit here, small folks. Let's listen to them. All right? Let's listen to them. Like I said, don't put your party sentiment in here. Look at them as Liberians. Just look at them as Liberians.
The EPS authority in 2018 provided official employment letters indicating our various employments for a 3-month probationary period in keeping with Section 13.1 of the Decent Act of Liberia 2015. After successfully serving our probationary period, the EPS administration conducted an assessment of the performance of each of the agents and wrote official employment letters permanently employing all agents concerned. We have all been serving the EPS diligently and professionally since 2018, up to present, when the current leadership of the EPS, in that we have not determined that they have not determined that we meet the minimum requirement of the EPS.
Can I see you get everyone?
Under the EPS duty manual and regulation acts constitute grounds for suspension as well as immediate termination, but these provisions of the EPS duty manual and regulation were not scrupulously followed by the new administration of the EPS. Officials of the EPS, like all others Liberians, are protected by the constitutions of Liberia, 1986, and have the right to due process of law. All rights that is known as...
Let me just hold it there for you guys a little bit, all right? Let me just hold it there for you guys. Because even as I read the thing here, my eyes, I really want to shed tears here. And for those of you that don't know me, I'm a very soft person. And, things quick to break me down. And it is actually breaking me down right now, to be honest with you guys. As I look at you guys, let me show you what my mind is running through. How long our people have been suffering. Watch the other video here. Just watch the other video. All right? Just watch the other video here. Let me bring it up for you guys to see. Just watch the other video here, my fellow Liberian. Let me show it to you guys. Where is it? I just saw it here right now. A few minutes ago, it was here. Let me just show you the quick video here, okay, guys? Let me just show you a quick video here. Watch the video. Right now, I cannot stand the tension right now. It's almost making me to want to shed tears right now. That is where it's getting to me right now. It makes me want to shed tears right now. But I will be strong, and I will be strong to make it through. We'll go through the show, but this is very, very sad. Now watch the video here, right? Watch the video. It's coming up. Watch the video. Watch this one. The audio coming up.
The most notorious is the prison camp at Bella Yella. Bella Yella is a sort of African Devil's Island, surrounded by jungle, and 3 days' walk from the nearest road. Some of the inmates are hardened criminals. Some are called security risks, and some are classified as troublemakers sent here by direct order of the president. The food allowance per prisoner is less than a nickel a day. NBC News' Robert Rogers was the first reporter ever to visit Bella Yella.
Just as I say,
What did you come here for?
Well, I still say I came, they charged me for security risk. Put me in jail and send me up here for security risk.
Did they tell you what security risk means?
Well, no.
How long have you been here?
I've been here since 65.
What was your offense?
I was arrested for vacancy.
Vagrancy.
Yes, sir.
Now, what does that mean?
Working late hour in the night.
How long have you been here?
Since 1965, I got to tell you.
You've been here since 1965 on a vagrancy charge?
Yes, sir.
I am sent here directly by the president. And when one is sent directly by the president, the government has to be quite strict because he doesn't want to lose his job and he doesn't want to get where I am. So he has to be quite strict himself.
You ever think about trying to escape from here?
No, I have never. Of course, I believe, frankly, I think I can escape any jail in Liberia, except you just put me in a place and put a chain on my neck and kill me. But as the Bible says that when the leader, I think you find this in Ecclesiastes or somewhere if I'm not mistaken, I just cannot quote the book perfectly now, but it says that if you have difficulties with your leader, you must not escape, because that in itself shows some sort of disobedience or some sort of envy against your leader as a satisfaction. So I am contented with whatever punishment my leader, the president, feels that I should bear. But one thing I am citing off, I am a loyal and patriotic citizen, and I shall remain this way until death.
President Tubman.
Until death, 1965. Most of the people are dead and gone. Never ever enjoy the fruit of their own country. A leader was in power, decided to just marginalize few people, throw them wherever they want to go because of some people that was around that president and influenced them. So as I watch this video here, folks, as I watch the video, it kind of remind me, it's like a rerun again.
The law of the land.
It's like a rerun. It's like a rerun. And that's already making me to want to shed tears tonight and asking myself this question. Why our people cannot, for a second, a moment, enjoy their own country? Why? Why every leader will come and just want to ruin everybody? This time around, it's not the women interviewing them now, because the world now is watching now. But they are coming now, voicing their opinion about things that happen to them. Anyway, let's get into some detail here, folks. Let's get into some detail here. So let's look at, like I said, Joseph Boakai decided to take 40,000 civil servants out of the government employment line. 40,000. Let's look at the background that led to this. One, the civil service, the CSA, on the 1st of this month. Today is the 22nd. They said that they were going to overhaul 40,000 people out of the government system. That's what they plan to do. They made that announcement. Well, we are only 5 million people in the country. How many people are eligible to work? And how many people are not eligible to work? But we know that our number is very, very small compared to other countries, right? But they decided to take about 40,000 people out of the workforce. When the news was first announced, everybody like, oh, my man, who? Oh, well, my man, I've been here since anytime, but my man, I've been here. But then they came by with a more specific reason. Their focus was these civil servants, the 40,000 civil servants. There are people who were hired between 2019 to 2023. 40,000 people that were hired between 2019 to 2023. That number is not affecting Ellen people. Whoever Joe Boakai brought in our government during Ellen time, they are not affected. Whether they were there by this, by that, they were never affected. Joe Boakai's own son, we are keeping a maritime, we heard it. He was there until he said, you know what, I don't want to work again, I'm going out of here. Did not come out to say, I want 40,000 people to go, 30,000 people to go. No, he kept those people. We hear Boakai coming up now and say, we're going to get rid of 40,000 people. And that 40,000 people will be between those who were hired between 2019 to 2023. How do you consider that to be, my fellow Liberian? How do you consider that to be? I'm asking a question. How do you consider that to be? So now that we understand the background, what I want you and I, having looked at their reason, that is, we are going to lay off 40,000 people. And we're going to target those people between 2019 to 2023. That's the background case. That's the background case. And then they didn't stop there again. And some ministries started to do their own thing. The decision came after recent massive dismissal at the Ministry of State and other government agency. So it started with the Ministry of State. So it means that Boakai had issued order for all the ministry and agency. That 40,000. Those are people who are marked for dismissal and their own institution. Kind of remind me of during the days when Samuel Kanye were in power. No Guillaume, Manome could stay in somebody's house. They got to go. So right now, everyone who once worked in the WIA administration from 2018 to 2023, people are looking at you now, my man, they not reach your administration. No, they can't hear you. When one day end, they don't see nobody. When they're there, during the day, as soon as they see car coming, they didn't come here. No, they didn't come here. Okay, we stay here. When that day end, that weekend, they go to church, they pray, hey God, let the curse pass over us. No, they will show up one day. Because Joe Boakai had given order to all the ministry and agency to get rid of these people. These are your fellow Liberians that you treating like this. These are your fellow Liberians you treating like this. Some of you guys have been asking why Liberia are making progress. You're seeing it right now. You are living in it. And I will remind you, you are living in it. You are living in it. So let's look at the consequences. We know that they say they're going to put 40,000 people down. They're only going to focus on people who were hired between 2018 to 2023. Now, let's look at the consequences of these things happening. What is the consequences of what Joe Boakai is doing? Some people will say that witch hunt. This is nothing but witch hunt. And hear what some people are saying, the international people out here are saying. The announcement that this exercise will specifically target civil servants employed during the period of the CDC government raises fear of witch hunt against individuals who secure employment during that time. This is BBC reporting now. That's the consequence of BBC looking at right now. BBC is sounding the warning sound now that what Joe Boakai is doing now is nothing but witch hunt against people of the WIA administration. Another news outlet, it said that layoffs are not only ill-timed, but also detrimental to Liberia peace. Liberia peace, stability, national security interests. So that means the peace that we built, the reason we got Chancellor in jail, the reason we got his son in jail, Joe Boakai action is about to ruin these things. I'm just giving you guys all the facts here. Because when these things start happening, I want you to say, you know what, Jerry, you are talking about this thing. And these people are breaking this thing down. That what Joe Boakai is doing, the timing is wrong because it's going to pose a threat to peace, stability, and national security. And he doesn't understand that. Now you see how the war came to Liberia and people were so nasty against each other. And it's repeating itself again. Potential backlash. The move could destabilize governance and create a potential backlash. Civil society group. There's a group called STAND. I don't know how many guys heard about that before. They call it STAND. Most of you guys who are familiar with things in Liberia, there's a group called STAND. Let me see where I can get the actual extension for that definition here. How many of you guys ever heard of STAND? There's a group called STAND, stand. All right? They call it STAND. Let me see what it stands for here. I have to find it here. STAND. I had to find it here. Anybody know what that STAND stand for? Let me see what I can find here for you guys quickly, because I really want you guys to get the detail here. We know the CSO is the Civil Service Organization. Then we got the CSA, the Civil Service, and or something. Let me see here. Stand. They didn't give the actual definition. I thought I saw the definition here during my research here. Let me see here. All right, going along, we'll try to find the definition of stand, but it stands for STAND. Yes. All right. So STAND is an organization, all right, in Liberia that is bitterly against what Boakai is doing. Let me see where I can find it here. So I want to give you guys that definition there. STAND. Let me see here. Sorry for that interruption. I really want to give it to you guys. I did see it here, but I don't know where I placed it here. It was somewhere here today. I don't see it here. I will look it up. So just bear with me here. I will look it up here. But they said something very, very interesting here. Let me see here. Stand. See here. Stand. Has anyone written anything there? Not yet. Let me see here. Stand. Not to hold you guys up here. Let's continue with that. All right. Let's continue with that. Let's continue with that definition. All right. Let's continue with that definition. All right. So the group called STAND. All right. A civil society group like STAND. They have emphasized the need to avoid politically motivated witch hunt. So STAND is another civil society group. Oh, Modu is the chairman, right? Okay, cool. Thank you very much, Ansu. Thank you very much for that stuff. So STAND is against what is happening in the country. And it advised against what Boakai is doing. All right? Thank you very much, guys. STAND is against what Boakai is doing, ladies and gentlemen. And here is what they said. And Ansu, I'm very thankful to you for providing that information. All right? Yeah, somebody said go to Breakable, go to Molu page, copy that, and bring it on here, okay? That is part of your responsibility, if you don't mind, because we want to provide education here for our brothers and sisters here. So STAND is saying it's a civil society group. So aside from BBC that is emphasizing on breaking the fragile peace, STAND is also saying, all right, the position of Joseph Boakai need to be avoided because it politically motivates witch hunt that could plunge the nation into chaos. And you see this thing every time. Oftentimes around 3 a.m. in the morning, when I'm up, every station I'm listening to in Liberia, the volume from the people's voices out there is nothing but complete emotionally charged people, overly charged people that just want to just fuck because of what Boca is doing. That's what they are saying here, folks. So we got the background now, and we also have the consequences. Now, here's the second question here. What does the decision to lay off 40,000 civil servants, especially those who were hired between 2018 to 2023, what is the condition right now? What is the condition that it will have on the government? That means, what does the decision impact in the society of Liberia? Well, let's go through a few lists of things here. Do you think services in the country will be impacted? Of course, services in the country will be impacted. People who work in those different ministries for 6 years, their minds are still fresh over things that they have gained knowledge of. So as far as service go, there will be a disruption into services. Right now in Liberia, things are not going well now because everybody at every ministry, they're worrying. Imagine you and myself, 40,000 people, and they are targeted them. Think about when the Jews were in Germany. We read about the Jewish people during World War II, how they were being hunted by the Germans, right? We heard about that. But during our war, prior to our 1989 war, when certain tribes were being hunted in the country. So that means we did not only see it, read about it, some of us experienced it, and we saw it in Liberia. Now, think about people who work in the WIA administration from 2018 to 2023. Everything they ever worked for, the relationship they built at that ministry, the love they have for that agency, they have been single-handedly targeted by Joe Boakai. Don't you see what I'm giving you here about creating chaos, instability? Don't you see that? It's a potential to happen. And nobody in the country is coming here to say anything at all. The country is turning into a town bomb. But guess what? The U.S. Embassy is watching. The U.S. Embassy is watching. So what does that mean for the Boakai people? Well, economic implication going to take place. The layoff could have an economic impact, reducing the disposable income of thousands of households. That is the economic impact right there. What Boakai is doing, the economic impact is going to bring about disposable income of thousands of households. 40,000 is not a small number. 40,000. Even in the United States here, there are times when job in it is very scarce. The U.S. government can even have 40,000 jobs sometime. Go do your statistics. In America here, there are times that job creation can be at least around 40,000 because if the scarcity is high. So what's going to happen? 40,000 people are going to be out of job, and it's going to have a serious economic impact in the country. That's something that is worrisome, my friend. That's something that is worrisome. What about public trust now in the Boakai administration? Such a decision could also affect the morale of the remaining civil servants. Of course, your friend you know going, get what they're going to say. Oh, all those that are working now in the government are Unity Party people now. It's going to affect the morale. If I'm in that government, I'm leaving. It's like during the days when they say all the Giopo will run away, all the Manopo will run away. To who are in the show, they say that all crowns are right. And what happened with the walking? Most of the people that are in the show got killed. If I'm in that government with Joe Boakai, I'm leaving. And the only thing I can say here to the civil servant, if you really love your friends, everybody put a major Boakai down. Everybody. If I were in a developed country, like the United States, every civil servant at every ministry agency also will not come to work. One for all for one. And let's see how Joe Boca will hire his other people. And that's why it's saying here, the public trust. Do you want to be in the government where everybody looking at you? So let me ask you guys this question. The way Joe Boca behaving now, trying to divide the country by political party in every sector, is that how we want to go with the country, fellow Liberian? Is that how we're planning now to go beyond 2024? By the time we get to 2029, the ANC take office, they say, oh, all the Boca people, you're going. How many are there? Oh, they were 150,000. Every one of them going. Imagine when CDC take office again. What's going to happen? If they decide to do what Boca doing, what's going to happen to other households? We can't operate like this, folks. We started the same behavior with infrastructure development. Whenever one leader take over, the member being little, I don't face in that room, man. Let's go face that part of one side. And because of that, many projects were never completed on a different administration. Now we are taking those things from infrastructure now. We are now impacting human element now. We're coming to the individual then now and taking them out of job. Before it was project. You take over, you keep the people there. Yeah, you can stay here, we get with them. The project that men were doing, we won't go to. Now they come in and they say that the human being will come in after now. So where is the country going now, folks? Does it have any political and social stability? Well, what does it say? The layoff might lead to social unrest. Of course, the social unrest already started now, right? Yeah, the layoff will lead to social unrest or political instability in the country. I told you guys yesterday, Joseph Boca won't fall in the grave. The old man does not care. He does not have future. Joe Boca cannot sit down with you and tell you, say, 2 years from now, 5 years from now, my future will be bright. No. The old man has outlived his future. So there's no the day I get beat for Joe Boca. So he's going to embrace anything and everything that will destroy that country. So he actually to lay off specific people. Another impact it will have is political instability. And it could lead to unjust or politically motivated. They could have far-reaching consequences for the peace. Everything that the impact of the decision is saying, it has to do with what? Creating some type of crack within the peace that we have today. Who is sitting down with Joe Boca to say those things? Who is sitting down with Joe Boca to say these things? Nobody. Nobody is sitting down with Joe Boca to say the thing. Nobody. Nobody at all. Nobody. Absolutely nobody. Okay. Now, the decision that was made, is there any reason that we can look at the Constitution? Yes. What does the Constitution say in regards to what Joe Boca is doing to his fellow Liberian? Let me read something here from the Constitution for you guys. The Liberian Constitution outlines principles related to civil service employment. This is key. Legal minds in our country, like I said, Liberia is yet to reach the level of being a country of law. We haven't reached there yet. We need constitutional lawyers in our country. I don't think we have constitutional lawyers. Our constitution exists, but we don't have constitutional lawyers. We have lawyers in other disciplines, but as far as a constitutional lawyer goes, we don't have them. Let's read this part of the Constitution and see how it applies to the bad decision that Joe Boca has made. Let's go through here. All right. The Liberian Constitution outlines principles related to civil service employment. All right. The Constitution of Liberia. The Constitution provides fundamental rights and principles that guide national policy and governance in Liberia. 1. The right to equal opportunity for work and employment. What does that mean? Well, Article 18 of the Constitution of Liberia guarantees the right to equal opportunity for work and employment. What does that mean again? This means that all Liberians should have equal access to employment opportunity without discrimination. What Joe Boakai is doing, there is some linkage to discrimination that he's doing right now. That's what he's doing right now. It further explains, it said the government should ensure that employment decisions are based on merit and not influenced by political or other factors. These people have ground. These guys you see right here, if they use the Article 18 of the Constitution, because what is happening here, to see Joe Boakai only targeting people from 2018 to 2023, it is something they call discrimination, employment discrimination by the Joe Boakai government. So he's already violating the law. The Constitution is saying it here, and I'm only reading it for you guys here. Article 18 of the Constitution guarantees the right to equal opportunity for for work and employment. This means that all Liberians should have equal access to employment opportunities without discrimination. Joe Boakai is already discriminating by sidelining people who were between 2018 to 2023. That is a legal concern. It further says the government should ensure, which Joe Boakai is not doing. Joe Boakai government is not ensuring employment decision, but it's the Constitution says Joe Boakai should ensure that employment decisions are based on merit and not influenced by political or other factors. Joe Boakai's decision is politically influenced. There's no doubt in my mind. When you listen to this guy all out exactly what and how they got hired. Let's listen to them again, folks. Listen to them here. Listen to what they say. Now that you are understood what Article 18 of the Constitution say, let's listen to the gentleman in here.
2018 provided official employment letters indicating our various employments for a 3-month probationary period in keeping with Section 13.1 of the Decent Act of Liberia 2015. After successfully serving our probationary period, the EPS administration conducted an assessment of the performance of each of the agents and wrote official employment letters permanently employing all agents concerned. We have all been serving the EPS diligently and professionally since 2018, up to present, when the current leadership of the EPS, in that we have not determined that they have not determined that we meet the minimum requirement of the EPS.
Can I see you, Gala? Everyone!
Under the EPS duty manual and regulations constitute grounds for suspension as well as immediate termination, but these provisions of the EPS duty manual and regulation were not scrupulously followed by the new administration of the EPS.
Okay, so
Officials of the EPS.
So let's stop it right there. So aside from the constitutional violation by the EPS, they are also looking at employment discipline policy. We said that here. There is no time that these guys, to our understanding, because why? Joe Boakai had people that been over there for less than 100 days. So how can they go in there and fire the guys without going through any grace period before I would even say a performance error or performance timeline? Because you will have grace period to see how the guy will fit into your administration. Then you got to have the performance evaluation to see whether they meet performance needs. And that's why he's saying, according to the EPS guidelines, they don't find any reason that they have been cautioned, they have been advised, they have been talked to, they have been written off, they have been suspended prior to their dismissal. There's nothing else of such. For the most part, the guy just came to office on less than 100 days. And then they gave him justification for things that they had not even set their own target. They had not even set their own target. So when you read Article 18, let's go back to Article 18 now that we have said that, right? The government should ensure that employment decisions are based on merit and not influenced by political or other factors. These people said they were given letter of employment. They have the letter of employment. You see, I think what we're learning from here, Liberians need to be able to incorporate themselves into a union. The police union, the EPS union, the worker union. Because when you have that kind of structure, nobody can just single you out. I think lawmakers then need to start thinking in that direction. Voters in the country need to start thinking in that direction. Everything that's happening today in Liberia, it has happened in the United States and other countries. But the way they put the protective and safety net around it is to look for a very smart defensive mechanism that will protect people. If not, the country will be vulnerable to so many things. And that's what happened to these people then. 40,000 people have been earmarked to be fired. Let's come to the prohibition against discrimination in employment. What the Constitution prohibits. The Constitution prohibits discrimination in employment based on factors such as race, gender, religion, or political affiliation. You hear that? The Constitution, Article 18, it says the Constitution prohibits discrimination in employment based on factors such as race, gender, religion, or political affiliation. What are they saying? These guys are members of the CDC. That's what many of them are saying. That's why they're firing them. And that's what they're saying. So they got a case. That's why I said we need a constitutional lawyers in our country. Because if you're specifically targeting people from 2018 to 2008, then you are discriminating against them. Civil servants should be hired, retained, and promoted based on their qualification and abilities rather than any other consideration. The people went through that process. And it should be merit-based. Well, any other thing done, folks? That is why I'm calling on the national legislature. Thank God you guys have gone to the national legislature to petition the legislators to call on this guy. And I think the Supreme Court need to put in some type of stay order, because to put 40,000 people down, it is insane in any society. It is insane. It is time now that the Supreme Court need to come in, because the executive branch is leading the country in the wrong path. And you heard it here from me. It's going to create instability in the country, security concern, breaking the peace, civil unrest. Disturbances is forming in the cloud. It is forming in the cloud. It's becoming a very major concern. And the U.S. Embassy is just watching right now. And they know who are the major players. One good thing I know about the U.S., they are watching and collecting intelligence on all these people who are creating the job discrimination. Article 18 of our Constitution. Joseph Boakai's decision to lay off 40,000 people violate Article 18 of the Constitution of the Republic of Liberia, specifically by targeting people who they claim to be supporters of CDC between 2018 to 2023 of employment. That is nothing but a complete violation of Article 18 of the Constitution. If you have the time tonight, please go and Google that. Google the Constitution of the Republic of Liberia, read Article 18. You will see exactly what I am talking about here. So Joe Boakai's decision is not only a bad decision, but he also violated the Constitution of the Republic of Liberia. Let's come to the next topic on the list here. All right. This lady,
and things are moving.
this lady you see here, she thinks she can outsmart you guys. But today, I'm going to tell you, and we're going to give her a grade. She's not somebody who is smart at all. She's not smart. She's not smart. She tried to play a kitty cat game. That's what she tried to play. But before we do that, let's come to Joe Boakai and his administration performance. Let's give Joe Boakai grace. This guy action plus other things that Joe Boakai has done. This guy need to be called by the Senate. If there's no branch within the three branches of government that are really, really frustrated about, is the national legislature. Those guys are not doing anything to represent the people's interests. In fact, they always aiding and abetting in bad things that happen in our country. And that's why I keep telling citizens, if you depend on your lawmaker, they will let you down. So this guy need to be called by the president of, the president pro tem. But again, normally Kanga, she's not going to do anything. Even if they call the guy, they're not going to do anything. Liberian, you are in zigzag. You either zig or you zag. That's where the country is now. There is now more Yeke in a Yeke was president pro tem. I would say yes, things will change. People will be held accountable. But the people who are in the position, they are in no readiness to change things for the Liberian people. The guy you see right here, he might not even be called. All the things we're doing, we're just wasting our time. He might not even be called. Someone that normally can go, she cannot carry out that function. She's not brave. Unless maybe Allen will go and sit down there again and say, bring the people. That's the only way. And this time now, I pray that Allen will go there again and say, you got to bring those people. But if it left with us alone as people of this color in Liberia, it's not going to work. The guy will remain over there and nothing will happen. Nothing will happen. Joe Boakai, 100 days in office. Let me tell you why I gave Joe Boakai F for 100 days. Joe Boakai got F for 100 days in office. That is the grade that Joe Boakai got, folks. That is the grade that Joe Boakai got for his first 100 days in office. Let me try to break it down here for you guys here quickly here. All right, let's try to break it down. Joe Boakai, 100 days in office. He got an F. Some people are saying F minus. Some people are seeing F minus. I've seen some of you guys seeing F minus. Some of you guys are seeing F minus. Yes, some of you guys are seeing F minus. Let's break it down here for you guys. Joe Boakai got an F, and you're going to see it right now. Let's get into it quickly here. Yeah, a few things that Joe Boakai has done as far as our data goes. This man took office in 2024, and he has been almost 100 days. Joe Boakai has not been very transparent in meeting the expectation of the Liberian people. He has not been transparent. So get ready to take pen down. All right? Let's get ready to take pen and write things down. Somebody say, let's give him 70. My married son, you don't know me for true. You don't know me for true, my married son. I'm a political engineer. I'm not a regular politician. My score, if it's 69.9, it remains 69.9. I don't run it up to 70. So you might want to change, shift, or gear, find somewhere to go. But if you say, let me Joe Bogart to get that one, you're wasting your time. Here are some of the things that Joe Bogart did within the last 100 days or almost 100 days. George Weah, the former president of the Republic of Liberia, that man's access was leaked. Joe Bogart, up to now, has not been able to conduct an investigation as to why and who leaked that man's document, because it came from that institution. You know how that is called? Lack of transparency. That means he either aided and abetted in there. That's a problem. Number two, Liberia has high expectation for Joe Bogart. But up to now, what you see Joe Bogart doing in that country, it comes no close to the expectation that Liberian people have for him. Liberians have high expectation for rebuilding the economy and improving healthcare education. Meeting the expectation within 100 days. Joe Bogart has not even started anything in regards to that. Not even the national development agenda. Nothing. The national development agenda of the country is the beginning of anything that Joe Bogart wants to put in place. Nothing has been done. Everything is all about distraction. The national agenda should be the first thing that Joe Bogart should have been able to wrap up at the end of the 100 days. Nothing. That is why his minister and agency director, they got nothing on their website. Absolutely nothing. You see what we show you about American the other day, while we're commenting American Connor? None of these people on the government website have done anything like that. Nothing. Let's look at corruption. The lack of corruption, right? I mean, the legacy of corruption. Bogart inherited a country where corruption was a significant problem. His administration must tackle it, but he has not been able to tackle anything in there. Economic hardship. The cost of living remains a concern for many Liberians since Joe Bogart took office. Addressing economic challenges require a sustained effort that Joe Bogart is yet to set anything about. He has not been able to roll out anything at all. At all. Still one more. Let's continue here. Another failure of Joe Bogart within 100 days. Poor handling of the inaugural activities. You remember the inauguration, right? 350,000 plus putting the people in harm's way. Did you see Joe Bogart investigating that? Let's hear what he said about poor handling of the inauguration. There were several issues reported during President Boakai's inauguration, including the financial mismanagement. For instance, there were criticism about organizing of the event, including poor seating arrangement for both local and international guests, a poor sound system, a disorganized atmosphere. Additionally, President Boakai himself had difficulty completing his speech during the ceremony, which some reports suggest was due to heat exhaustion, poor handling of the society. He never addressed that as leader, but they spend money though. Number two, going down the horn, appointment of corrupt official. Do you know that Joe Boakai appointed corrupt official? Well, this other source is coming from the U.S. How do you call it? The Associated Press, AP. All right. According to AP, there have been allegations that some of President Boakai's close associate, family member, and friends have been involved in lobbying for and offering bribes. This one is coming from Associated Press. I like this one here so bad. I enjoy this one. It's coming from Associated Press. I left the other source here. I will keep them one here for a while. Yes. All right. Yes, I love this one here. Appointment of corrupt official. All right. There have been, I'm going to read it all again for you guys. There have been allegations that some of President Boakai's close associate, family members, and friends have been involved in lobbying for and offering bribe for appointment to influential, powerful, and lucrative government jobs. Now you see the reason why they're laying people off, because Joe Boakai member or his family are there soliciting bribes. Oh God, they think more and more sanction coming for these people. I'm glad that this thing here is coming from the Associated Press, and I will take this thing and I will mail it to the State Department too. Yes. All right. All right. Yes. So he has not said anything in regards to that. Terrorism, illegal appointments. So aside from appointing people on a corrupt scheme, illegal appointment, President Boakai has been accused of violating a national law that guides the presidency in the appointment of cabinet ministers. The law stipulates the appointment of at least one cabinet member from each county to promote national integration. This one is coming from a source from the UN. So you see what Joe Boakai has done? He has marginalized his government. The appointment called for people coming from each county, and they had to do with the TRC something here. So Joe Boakai, all right, the law, there is a law we have, fellow Liberians. Joe Boakai has been accused of violating our national law. What that law says? The law says that the president should appoint cabinet ministers. The law stipulates appointment of at least one cabinet member from each county to promote national integration and unity. Joe Boakai never did none of those things. Yes, he never did none of those things. He never did none of those things. And that's why Joe Boakai today, in the first 100 days, he is getting an F. That report coming up very soon. That report is coming up very soon. We're done with him. We're done with him. Let's come to the press secretary here.
For today's briefing,
You see the lady right here? Let me tell you what she does. She's not like Smith Toby. She's not like the other guy. She's not even like the guy who is now Joe Boakai, Minister of Information. She's not like that. She is not smart, but she wants to play it smart. She will have the press conference, and she will come and just lecture and lecture and lecture with all no interaction. And then she will stop. And then when she stops, then she take some kind of babati pen, and every journalist will go and ask question. She not answer the question. It are 10 journalists always ask all their questions. Then she will start answering it. What is she trying to achieve? Let's listen to what she's coming to say, and then I will start to give you a deep analysis of this woman's weakness. Like I said, she's not smart. She is not ready for this position. And we'll also give her grade too. So let's listen to her here right now.
a number of things that I want to speak with you about. First is that, as you all know, we're getting closer to our first 100 day in office, the first 100 day of the next 6 years or so that this administration was inaugurated on January 22nd. And I can tell you that the 100 days deliverable is on course. And the president has gotten regular briefing from his team, his ministers, and heads of.
All right, so let me ask you guys this, right? She said the 100-day deliverable is on course. You just listen to what I just read to you. Even if you have some doubt, my question to you, have you seen Joe Boakai 100 days expectation deliverable? Have you seen what he was hoping to achieve? The arrest he talk about, what within that arrest that show to you that these are things that we do in the first 100 days. She's lying to you right there. She is lying to you right there. She's lying. This lady is paid to lie. How can you track a 100-day expectation performance when you don't know what it is? How do you track and trend things? It's by seeing the data, you track it, and you see the progress, right? But then she comes and say it is on course. That is nothing but a lie that have been wrapped up into a gift for you. But don't take it on the platform here. Let's continue with her. She's lying.
Agencies in different areas. And like I promised you the last time, that His Excellency will also be talking to the nation on the 100th day, giving the country updates on where the country is, what we've inherited, and where we intend to go, and what are those basic things that he's continuing to undertake.
What are those basic things? What are those basic things? Does anybody on here know what are those basic things? The answer is no. Let's continue.
I also like to inform you all here today that you all remember part of the beginning of probably last month, there were a lot of different situations, particularly on the issue of the supplementary payroll, that the government, especially the Ministry of State for
What does she mean by lot of situation? When you listen to these people talking, you gotta be very, very objective when they're saying things. What does it mean by there were a lot of situation? Situation without no objective reason, that's a lie that cannot be verified. So be careful when she say there have been a lot of situation. Those situations creating instability in the country. That's why she doesn't want to emphasize on them. And the only thing she can come to say to the journalist over there, oh, we're going to be paying the people. But that situation is the unknown variable, the unknown factors. She knows the factors, but she think the journalists and you guys don't know it. And I'm telling you, all the things that Boca has done, bribery, putting and appointing family members, laying and firing people, those are the things that she knows, but she just classify them as situation. But she doesn't want to bring it out because she doesn't want question to come from the media. Let's watch her here again, folks.
Presidential Affairs ended the contract, quote unquote, contract with the people who were on supplementary payroll. And I'm here this afternoon to announce to you that people who were on supplementary payroll have begun receiving their payment for the month that they were being owed.
Well, as far as this supplementary pay, this supplementary payroll, I don't know in our USA term, I don't know whether we're temp worker, but I think it's one of the weakness of the CDC government too, because CDC former officials need to take to the radio wave and explain to the Liberian people out here, because when the Boca people are making this case about people getting supplementary pay, I don't know when the people are working for CDC government, whether CDC hire people on a temporary basis. And this is one of the reasons why CDC got defeated, because their communication arm is nothing but weak. If the people are getting screwed in the behind by the Unity Party government and CDC is keeping quiet, that means that CDC is not doing justice to the people. CDC should be able to come out and say, look, there is no such thing as supplementary employee. This is how things were structured. That will balance all the conversation. Because this is very uncommon for me to hear about somebody say, oh, supplementary this, supplementary that. So if you're a citizen, you're listening out there, please, they need to come out. Somebody say they did. All right. Somebody say they did. Supplementary came from the Unity Party. So what did they explain, Hamilton? Hamilton, what did they explain? Because I don't know nothing. I'm not talking about Marco Gilmore explaining something or Prince Harry explaining something. No. I want somebody from the CDC government to go on OKFM, where the USA people listen, and explain about what these people call supplementary employees and what they don't see in their government as supplementary employee, then that fact will come up. We can be able to have that conversation. Other than that, this is a very gray area for me to emphasize on. All I can do is to just look for the fairness in there. All right. CDC is very weak. And those of you that got the aspiration, United Party may be making blunder here today, but if CDC continue to be on the same trajectory like the last time, it will be difficult for you to win election. Because for every day that come, every week, every month, and the coming years, you will be weakening. You will be very, very weak because I don't see the energy in you guys. All right. And it's happening right now. They're talking about supplementary worker. Nobody coming out to explain to the Liberian people on the bigger platform, as they call them, and say, oh, let's do all this thing. And no, nobody. All right. So let's continue here. I don't know what it is. All right. So let's continue.
So they're getting paid from January, February, and March, because as of March 31st, that supplementary payroll was canceled. And they've also received, people who have been paid, they received severance benefits, meaning that half of the month of April, so plus what they worked for the 3 months, and they gave them additional the month of April, or like a close-up package, for that process. So that concludes the entire supplementary. The payment is ongoing. It started last week and is ongoing as we speak at the Samuel Canyon Sports Complex. That is ongoing. And it is a coordinated payment effort between the Ministry of State for Presidential Affairs and our own internal audit secretary, our internal audit team, as well as the Ministry of Finance, Development Planning. The team is there working to ensure that people who have worked, they receive their pay, those who were on the supplementary payment. And by that conclusion now, the payment will be closed. Please also be informed that His Excellency President Joseph Yuma Boakai have signed 3 executive orders. Executive Order number 129, Executive Order number 130, and Executive Order number 131. Executive Order number 129 is the executive order in an interest to extend the Executive Order 110 in repositioning the National Food Assistance Agency. The Executive Order number 130 also is there to exempt NTA, that is the National Transit Authority, from customs duty on fuel and lubricant to help enhance the working of the NTA. As you all know, the NTA have suffered a great challenge, starting with the past administration, where even as we speak, a very limited vehicles to plow the streets, especially buses, and too many challenges that even their office, the entire office of NTA, I'm told that the team there, they're working from the garage. So these challenges that they have been faced with, we're able to speak with the president and brief him on the challenges and ask for this executive order so that they're able to, revamp and reactivate the institution. So Executive Order 130 is specifically in exempting NTA from customs duty on fuels and lubricant. And Executive Order 131, also extension of Executive Order 107, suspending tariffs on off-grid solar renewable energy product. So we will be publishing these executive orders as soon as possible to give you an understanding on those specifics of what the executive orders seek to do and how, the administration, particularly the office of the president, is intending on reducing poverty, because all of these executive orders to restore electricity, ensure that transportation is made easier for the population, and to ensure that we are food secure. So these 3 executive orders are signed by His Excellency in those areas, and all of them culminate into supporting the government's arrest agenda, particularly on agriculture, roads, rule of law, education, sanitation, and tourism. These executive orders help to implement those. Also, a quick update on since the HPS and the Liberian government had a great interaction.
All right, so let's move forward quick here, all right?
Some time ago, particularly through his started, and is ongoing process. His Excellency also visited the RI.
That the president has not made.
International airport is up to an international standards, and he is clear in terms of all members of his management team there to work in the interest of the country. And anyone who's forming any form of corruption will be asked to remove themselves or be removed from, the RIA. That this is to say that he is very clear on making sure that government officials who are working for this team, for this mission, for this arrest agenda, for.
So, guys, you heard it there, right? Those of you that travel to Liberia, she said something very interesting here, and you might want to put it to test. Anybody at the airport who is involved in any form of corruption, they will be immediately removed. I wish I was going to Liberia in the next 2 months, because if I get to the airport, I expect nobody to ask me for $5 to move my bag from point A to point B. Today, we saw a police officer taking bribe. I posted that on my page. Go on my page. A police officer was captured on camera taking bribe from some young guys and giving back their documentation. Well, I hope that Gregory Coleman will take action, because we'll talk about that hopefully by tomorrow. But you listen to her, right? Everything she has. This is a press conference. She came and gave an update of the president activities, right? Now, I want you to listen at the end of her press briefing, how things going to turn out. So just watch this here. It's coming to that point now. Let's go into it.
This administration, for this president, do the best in the interest of the country. So I'll stop here and ask that if you have questions. I know today we have a full house, and let's ensure that our questions are to the point and not laying long premises, and that you're able to, get your questions through. And I'll again encourage our sisters here to please, come to the forefront and ask questions. I wouldn't also hesitate to be writing your institution so we can have some female faces in this, press briefing. But yes, thank you again. I look forward to
Now, this press conference, all right, this press conference, here is how she play her games. She is not smart to answer question as the question comes to her. She tries to avoid that because she doesn't want the difficult question to extend beyond the first question. So what she does, and this is how her strategy has been since she started this position, she will come and provide all the update, and then the QA section will be every journalist will come, will stand and post their question, and she will copy it down. And then after all the questions have been asked, before she will start to answer those questions. What she's doing over there is called lack of interaction. That's what she's doing. She lack of interaction, and she have a very poor memory to interact. And then she doesn't want to provide clarity to what she's doing. So let's listen to that. All right. Let's listen. Watch her. She's going to take all the questions, which is very, very bad, because you and I want to listen to those questions. But the strategy there is not to take the question immediately and respond to it, because she don't want to have interaction with the journalists. And it also create frustration for the journalists. So she take the question and then she answer it. And while answering it, nobody's going to say anything. So just watch this here. All right? Let's watch this here and see how it plays out.
Presidential Press Secretary Kula Fofana then addressing members of the press here at the special presidential briefing from the executive mansion.
My first question is relating to the resolution that was signed by both the House of Representatives and the Senate, which was sent to the president. Why is it that the president has not made any statement about it or any action? So we want to know how soon he will act relating to the resolution signed by the House of Representatives and the House of Senate.
Which resolution?
Resolution for calling for the establishment of the war and economic transport. Now, my second question.
You see that? So she should immediately be able to respond to the question. The problem with this lady here is this approach that she's tried to implement, all right, during her press briefing, is to have less interaction with the media. That's her game plan, to have less interaction, all right? And then at the end, when they finish asking their question, then she come back again to create more lecture in the process. And that lecture in the process will also create frustration for the journalists. That's what she's doing. So some of the journalists need to be very upfront with her and say, look, we need immediate answer. We need immediate answer. If not, we will not show up. Because you and I will really want to listen to the question from the journalist, right? And then she should be able to immediately answer those questions. But she's not doing that. Another thing she does also is called memory, all right? She feel that she might forget, all right? She might forget. So she want to write all the questions down. That's what she's doing, all right? So let's listen to the second question here again. Let's go ahead and listen here.
Tomorrow, there will be elections in Nimba and Benji District 1. What does the president have to say to the people who are going to the electoral process? Thank you.
Another question will come.
Thank you very much. My name is Boakai'S Johnson, and I report for Banana FM. You said that the president 100 days deliverables on course, and it's something you keep saying. Can you be specific by telling us those areas that the president is making progress in terms of his 100 days deliverables? And don't.
You hear that question, right? Now, if the opportunity was given to this conversation, she should be answering that question now. And boy, you know there will be a follow-up, right? There should be a follow-up to that question. But again, the lack of clarity, that is one of her problems. So the lady got three major problems. One, she is afraid of interacting with the journalists. She has a very poor memory of things. And then the last one is she lack of clarity. Clarity with regards to the question. Because if a question is asked of her to provide clarification, like the question the guy just asked, and if she answers that question and there is not a clear picture of that answer, the guy will immediately want to follow up because he will be interacting with her at that moment. So the lack of clarity on her part are the it's the third reason why she doesn't want to directly interact with the journalists. That's why she's doing that. So let's just run through it and see how she'll come to the QA section now. Let's see here.
These are temporary interventions, and if you see them, you
will respond to the first batch of questions. Let's see.
Thank you all very much for those preliminary questions. I will start by the first question on the president's thought on the resolution. I can update you all today that the president has officially received the resolution, the joint resolution from the both houses, House of Senate and the House of Representatives. And he's received that, and he sees it as a good mark, towards the fight of, the process that he always and consistently talked about on the World Economic Crime Court. And the president will be making specific response to the resolution, and he will take an action. As soon as he takes action on the resolution, you all will hear from us as well. As yet, the internal team, particularly the legal advisor, as well as the Minister of Justice, and the team around, the team that's in charge of that, they're working on it, and that will be, provided some updates, and you all will hear it. On the issue of the Nimba election and what the president...
You see what I'm talking about now, folks? Okay, you see what I'm talking about? So she had developed this pattern. She had developed a pattern to make the press briefing very, very less important. And like what my brother is saying here, Michael Kwame is saying here, he's absolutely right. She's not informed. So the way she uses her style is to come and talk, present question, and then, present her so-called update, and then take question and answer the question. So she is avoiding those three things: lack of interaction with the media or the journalists. She has a very poor memory. And then, of course, the issue of lack of clarity. And because if a question requires a follow-up or clarification, you will not have that opportunity to engage her for her to provide the answer to those questions. So this lady, we're not going to waste our time on her, all right? This lady, as long as she continues to be presenting herself in a shape and form, every time she comes to give a press conference or press briefing, this is what school we're going to be giving to her. Today, she got a D minus, for the press briefing. So we'll be posting this as well. That this lady, she's very, very poor in communicating with the media. Her strategy is to avoid interaction because she has a very poor memory and she doesn't want to provide clarity on follow-up question. That is why we are giving her D for being a very dull person that cannot go to at least C minus. That is who she is. So guys, I want you to remember, go and watch Sarah Huckabee, go and watch Jenny Pierce, all the other press secretary, even the guy they called Jeremiah, I think, Pia, who worked for Ellen. When the guy was there as press secretary, they were asking questions and they were answering the question right there. That was Liberia then. That one, I will give it to them. Whether they answer the question property way, they were providing answer immediately. But this one, she is not smart at all. So what she does, she, like Jenny said, she pocket the question and she doesn't want to respond. And then when she get it, and then she can't just provide the answer in the form of a lecture. So she having technically a lecture series. She come and present the data, the so-called update in the form of lecture. Then when the QA session comes, she grab a pen and then she take all the question and then she come back to answer in a lecture form. So that means there is no interaction between she and the journalist. So we will never get answer that we have to do with a follow-up. Excuse me, did you say this? Can you repeat this? No. So when she get done with the series of the question, then she will wait again. Then the people go and ask the question. Then she will copy it down and then she will come back and then answer it again. This is very, very embarrassing. So ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the end of the presentation. I would like to say thank you so much, guys. I really, really appreciate you guys. We are doing extremely well. We try to improve on the sound quality of our podcast, but I think we are getting better now by coming on through all 5 medium on social media. So thank you guys so much for the opportunity. I really want to appreciate you guys a lot. We'll be back here tomorrow. Yes, we will be back here tomorrow again. We'll be back here tomorrow with another beautiful, powerful presentation. Thank you guys so much. Somebody say, how did she get the job? She seemed very inexperienced. Yes, LRB guy, and that's the question we need to keep asking her. All right. So let her not use us here on the platform by her. And I like the way Jen said here. She packaged the question. Yes, she does package the question and then she want to eat it up. Yes. Somebody say D for her, her bosses tell her what to do and say. You can't be out of answer them, my brother. Thank you guys so much for the opportunity. Yes. Thanks to every one of you guys. Thank you very much. Do Ida, thank you very much. We try our best every time. Thank you very much, Romeo. We try our best. Your strength, your appearance will always get me going. If you have any topic out there, folks, do not hesitate to share with me. Any topic you get out there, do not hesitate to share with me. All right. So thank to every one of you guys. Again, I always try to be here at 8 o'clock, but sometimes I overrun into time. But we'll get better little by little. All right. We'll get better. So thank you guys for your time. God bless you guys. And I'm done for the day. Have yourself a pleasant night, pleasant day. I will see you again. All right. God bless you guys. Bye-bye to every one of you guys.